Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar entitled Survive and Thrive. 3 clients share their feedback on moving to MeridianLink Portal. This is exclusively for clients who have had just migrated, are currently migrating, or are still currently using version 1 and version 2 digital portals, trying to make their decision to migrate. My name is Kevin Fleetwood. I'm the marketing director here at MeridianLink, and I'm your organizer for today's session. Feel free to ask questions in the question box on the webinar dashboard, as audience Q&A will be available towards the end of the presentation. All attendees will be sent an email with a link to be able to listen to this webinar again. We have a poll question and survey, so we appreciate everyone's participation. One lucky attendee will win a $100 Amazon gift card, so we will announce that winner at the end of today's webinar. Also, please take our survey tomorrow, as one participant will win a $50 Amazon gift card. One last reminder, the MeridianLink product and service rebranding took place last month, and people are still trying to make adjustments, including staff. Here are the new brands along with the old brand names. Don't be surprised if you hear a mix of both versions throughout this webinar. MeridianLink Consumer, Loans PQ, MeridianLink Opening, Express Accounts, MeridianLink Portal, Application Portal. It's all brand new to everyone still, so just want to keep that in everybody's head. Our moderator today is Richard Skelton. He's the Group Product Manager of MeridianLink Portal, and I'll let him kick things off by introducing today's agenda, our participants, and their companies. Take it away, Richard.
Thank you, Kevin. And hello, everyone. We're excited to have you join us for today's webinar. For our agenda today, we'll go through participant introductions and then get started with a roundtable interview with today's panelists. We'll then take a quick poll, followed by some Q&A with the audience. Lastly, we'll share some information about a special download that we've made available to you all, and then finish with a prize drawing for one lucky attendee. Today, we'll be joined by representatives from 3 financial institutions to share their feedback about using and transitioning to MeridianLink Portal. Starting with the Alabama Teachers Credit Union, headquartered in Gadsden, Alabama. They are users of our MeridianLink Consumer, MeridianLink Opening, and MeridianLink Portal products. Next is FirstBank, headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee, which is leveraging our MeridianLink Opening and our MeridianLink Portal platforms. Third, we have University Federal Credit Union, based in Salt Lake City, Utah. They are users of our MeridianLink Consumer, MeridianLink Opening, and MeridianLink Portal products. All right, now let's meet today's panelists. Starting with the team from Alabama Teachers Credit Union, we have Joey Clark, Vice President and Loan Administration Manager. How are you today, Joey?
I'm good, thank you, Richard.
Next, we have Colleen Kreider, Branch Manager at ATCU. Hi, Colleen, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing good.
And Rachel Young, Mortgage Loan Manager at ATCU. Hi, Rachel.
Hey there.
We also have Faith Owen, Digital Banking and Payments Product Manager at FirstBank.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Faith. How are you today?
Great.
And Christian Kay, IT Core Systems Analyst at University Federal Credit Union. How are you today, Christian?
Hi, Richard. I'm good.
Thank you all for joining us today. For the first portion of the interview, we'll focus on how our participants' organizations use MeridianLink Portal, its role in their digital strategy, measurable results, key features, feedback from their customers or members, and recommendations. All right, let's get underway. I'd like to first start off with Alabama Teachers Credit Union. How long has your financial institution been using MeridianLink Portal, and what types of loans do you accept with it?
Hi, this is Rachel. We have been using the portal since December of 2019, and we use all loan types that are available through the portal. So personal, vehicle, credit card, business, online account opening through formerly f.k.a.
That's great. And Faith, how does FirstBank use MeridianLink Portal?
Hi, Richard. So this is Faith. So we use MeridianLink Portal as part of our online account opening. So we were using that previously through f.k.a, and we have been using MeridianLink Portal since early January of 2020.
Great. And over to you, Christian. How long has Universal Federal Credit Union been using MeridianLink Portal?
We've been using it since 2008, latter half of 2008.
All right. I'm sorry, I meant University Federal Credit Union. Apologies
Okay.
there. Okay, Faith, this is a two-parter. How big of a role does MeridianLink Portal play in your organization's digital strategy? And we know that the pandemic has forced credit unions and banks to quickly adapt. Was it a part of your COVID strategy as well?
Hi, Richard. It's Faith here again. So MeridianLink does play a large part in our digital strategy as we're continuing to expand our digital footprint and looking for opportunities, for example, in the consumer lending space. And I would have to say that for the second part of the question, that MeridianLink allowed us to kind of augment our branches with mobile and online account opening solutions during branch shutdowns because of the pandemic. But it also allowed us to be nimble in conjunction with our PPP strategy to accommodate business account openings online as a kind of a quick response from that, as we were trying to be, like I said, as kind of as nimble, as quick on our feet as we could be during the pandemic.
Thank you for that. And Christian, how would you answer that question for University Federal Credit Union? How did you guys use MeridianLink Portal to adapt to your COVID strategy, and how big of a role does it play just in your overall digital strategy?
Yeah, Richard, I'd say before COVID, it probably wasn't, it was our main application system, but it wasn't probably the biggest part of our digital lending strategy. But since COVID, it actually has taken center stage. Using that, we were able to quickly switch over to everything digital, whereas before we were using other means to take applications. So this was able to allow us to unify our full process and to just move everything over to a digital platform without really losing any bandwidth or ability to continue functioning as normal.
That's great. And what about the Alabama Teachers Credit Union? How would you guys say that you've used this to leverage your COVID strategy, and just really how big of a role does MeridianLink Portal play in your overall digital strategy as well?
Well, as you heard Rachel mention earlier, we went on in December of 2019, right before the pandemic began. MeridianLink had intended to be a very large part of our organization's digital strategy and moving forward. However, we just did not realize how big it was going to be when the pandemic hit. Without it, we would have been dead in the water. We wouldn't have been sitting at the front door giving out paper applications. So the strategy for us, MeridianLink, is a huge part. We take all of our applications through it, we process them. We have some things happening in centralized areas. As far as COVID goes, we're still seeing a huge increase in application flow, as you'll hear from Rachel in a little bit. So it's been a wonderful part for us here at the credit union to keep us moving forward and allowing us to do what we needed to do.
That's great. So follow up to that question, ATCU, are there any specific measurable results or data that you can share regarding MeridianLink Portal and your digital origination program?
Hey, this is Rachel. I pulled numbers from 2019, right before we switched to the portal, and we have seen an increase comparing, it was October of 19 to October of 20 in the midst of this COVID situation. We saw a 273% increase in loan applications online as a result of being with the portal. So it's been such a good thing for us.
That's really great to hear. What about Christian, the University Federal Credit Union? Do you guys have any data that you can share with respect to the efficacy and the impact that MeridianLink Portal has made in your organization?
Yeah, I do. We've been looking at about 10% increase over our new account applications since switching over to Portal. And it's been allowing us to do even more to expand into more areas to continue to get more applications, we've been able to expand into more business type applications as well.
That's fantastic. Faith, what about FirstBank? Any data that you can share with us?
Absolutely, Richard. I would say our overall volume is more in line with University Federal Credit Union with about a 10% volume increase over B2 applications that we were receiving previously. But I would say a number that I've been glad to watch is our number of applications that have been successfully completed on the first attempt. And we've seen an increase around 30% of those applications since moving to MeridianLink Portal. And we've seen a decrease in our abandoned applications. So our overall volume of applications hasn't increased drastically, but we are seeing a good move in successfully completed applications on the first attempt and a decrease in our abandoned applications.
That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see. So it's really good to see that MeridianLink Portal has been effective in impacting abandonment, really decreasing that, and just really increasing submitted applications. So that's really great that you've all really gotten a chance to see that impact on the origination side of things. Faith, a follow-up question for you. What are some of the top features of MeridianLink Portal that your organization has realized since adopting it for your digital origination program?
So I would think some of the best features that we have adopted, really first and foremost, is the customization. We've been able to recently deploy a custom URL that kind of lays over the customer interface. So it's customizable to FirstBank. It makes that workflow and experience unique to FirstBank. And then also being able to work with our marketing and our compliance team on specifics for, maybe for example, we use location pools and we needed some specific verbiage related to, related to that. So being able to have that customization not only for, making that experience unique to FirstBank, but also streamlining that digital first workflow for our customers just continues to modernize and improve the customer experience.
That's great. ATCU, what are some of the features that you guys use with respect to MeridianLink Portal and ways to really kind of improve application submission and really adopt to your digital strategy?
One of the things we are most pleased with is the combo app. So we were built out on our website to where if the member goes out or the applicant and they want to apply for a loan for us, it even asks, are you currently a member of Alabama Teachers Credit Union? So that if they click no, it'll start the combo app, which does the new account opening as well as the loan app all at the same time. And so our new account reps get a notification, our loan officers get a notification, and there's comments in there, they talk to one another, the applications do. to be able to take care of opening the member account and the loan all at the same time. As Faith said, the customization, as far as even custom questions that we're able to build out to where if they're applying for an auto loan, the lender, we have it set up to ask, do they want gaps? Do they want warranties? Do they want credit life and credit disability? So that our lenders, as soon as they get the app, a lot of the questions are answered for them. And when they call the member or the applicant, they've got a lot of the information, so they're ahead of the game.
That's fantastic. And one of the things that we really strive to do here is to automate and make it easier for processes to kind of transition from one thing to another. So you mentioned the combo applications, which allow you to essentially kick off two processes at the same time. This is something that we really focus on to really make our financial institutions' lives easier. So it's great that you guys are taking advantage of that. Have you had any member or customer feedback on the use of MeridianLink Portal? I'll start with you, Christian. What kind of feedback have you had from your members?
Yeah, we have, well, we're our association with the University of Utah. We have a younger demographic, a lot of college-age students that are members, and what we've heard is just, they're always on their smartphone, and just the ease of the app to be able to understand the flow and what information is required for the application on a cell phone has been really great. There's everything's easy to read, buttons are easy to push and follow along through the application. But we've also heard, some of the larger or more complicated applications like a HELOC, members have been able to actually switch back and forth between a desktop and their cell phone, and it's been a seamless experience for them, no matter which platform they're coming through. So they've just the ease and simpleness of it all has been really great for the members. That's what we keep hearing.
Yes, we know how important it is to establish an omni-channel presence and a way for people to start applications, maybe using one form factor, or maybe on mobile, and then transition to a desktop browser, or really going in branch. So that's definitely an important thing worth calling out. The Alabama Teachers Credit Union, what kinds of feedback have you received from your members with respect to MeridianLink Portal?
This is Colleen. We have heard a lot of feedback from our members just saying the process is much simpler than what we used in the past. As far as it's 3 easy steps, they put in their information, it imports a lot for them from their credit reports as far as when they're doing loans. So they've all said that it was much easier to use than what we've used in the past. And so that makes it good for us as lenders to be able to know that they're able to do it without calling and us having to walk them through it.
Fantastic. Faith, what about you at FirstBank? What's some of the feedback that your customers have gotten?
Yeah, no, thanks, Richard. So I have to echo some of the previous comments previously made, but I would add to our positive response to that mobile dynamic workflow. Definitely the 3 steps, minimizing the number of clicks to move through the account opening process. For our customers, it's definitely more modern than the prior experience. But then also the ability to capture the ID information in app. And then one thing that has helped with our application completion is the prompt to capture ID as part of mid-application process versus at the end or after the fact.
Sure. So I'm going to ask you the $10,000 question. I'll start with you, Faith, since we just left off with you. Why would you recommend MeridianLink Portal to another MeridianLink client or potential client?
Well, Richard, I would recommend MeridianLink Portal. I think from exactly what I led off with is that customization. We have seen success in being able to take a very good workflow, be able to complete customization that makes that unique to FirstBank, makes it unique for our customers, but utilizing the technology that's there, we're able to build in the custom questions that meets our compliance and marketing needs. But it also, takes that workflow and integration all the way through, which just makes our application easier and more successful to be completed.
Thank you. Christian, how about University Federal Credit Union? Why would they recommend MeridianLink Portal to another MeridianLink client or a potential client?
I would say if you're like us, our credit union, even though we're kind of small employee-wise, we still like to try to do everything on our own. And MeridianLink Portal has just allowed us to do that. Just echoing Faith, we've been able to do a lot of the customization on our own. We love MeridianLink support staff and how much they do, but it's just great being able to do as much as we can on our own through the portal. With COVID last year, we were able to make our own customized URL link to build out a new application specialized for the few in-person events we were able to attend. And we were able to do that all on our own within from creation to going live in a couple weeks. It was, I just say if that's kind of what you're looking for, it's really great, but you still have the support of MeridianLink to get your applications or to get to your goals that you need, but you still have that ability to do it all on your own.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that. And over to ATCU, why would you recommend MeridianLink Portal to a MeridianLink client or any client?
This is Colleen. For our stake and what we think, we would recommend it because it's easy for MeridianLink users that are already using the program to use the portal. There was very little training necessary for figuring out how to claim a application, and because the members were doing exactly what our application had in it, we were just filling in a few blanks. And as the other people have stated, having those custom questions, it helps us with cross-selling, and I'm sure other financial institutions, you love to get as many sticky products as you possibly can. So, for us, because of the ease of transitioning to the app portal, with MeridianLink already being what we use, it made it so much easier, and I think it would be easier for other clients.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, now we're going to focus a bit on the experience that your organizations have had transitioning to MeridianLink Portal and getting up and running. So I'll start off with you, ATCU. I know that you did not have version 1 or 2 when starting, and you guys jumped straight into MeridianLink Portal. But about how long did it take for you to get set up from signing the addendum to go live?
This is Rachel. It took us about 3 months. We signed the contracts or the addendums in September, and we went live on December 16th. So, like you said, we didn't use one of the previous versions. We just built it all out brand new. So it was a pretty simple process, though.
How about University Federal Credit Union, Christian? Did you migrate from MeridianLink version 1 or 2? And when did you migrate, and about how long did it take for your migration to take place?
Yeah, we migrated from V2. It was back in 2018 that we did that. And it took us about 2 to 3 months to fully convert over, but it was really easy. It was mostly just having to go through and test all the different scenarios that make sure everything was working. But V2 and Portal, as far as application and the look of everything, for us, it was pretty similar. wasn't a whole lot we needed to change or needed to retrain anyone on. So it was pretty simple, smooth process.
Yeah, that's really good to hear, especially with respect to training, because those are some of the hidden sunk, costs and time in terms of getting people up to speed with how things are working and changes. So, we really aim to make the transition as smooth as possible. We have a great support team and staff, obviously, that is there to help with any transition needs, as well as our implementation team. But it's good to hear that that seamless transition is something that you guys have experienced on your end. Over to you, Faith. At FirstBank, when did you migrate from version 1 or version 2? And or which one did you migrate from, and when did you migrate, and about how long did it take?
All right, this is Faith on with FirstBank again. So we were originally V1 customers back in 2017 and had converted to V2. And then we started our conversion from V2 to application portal or MeridianLink Portal late in 2019. It took us approximately 5 weeks from our kickoff implementation till we were staged and ready to go in production. So we were able, I think, to move through that relatively quickly. Again, as Christian had said, because we were already V2, customers, that migration to MeridianLink Portal was relatively seamless. And from a training perspective, absolutely minimum from a post implementation standpoint. So like I said, it took us about 5 weeks from our kickoff to being ready and staged in production from V2 to MeridianLink Portal.
Wow, that's great. Faith, any feedback from your staff regarding the migration process?
Oh, it had been relatively smooth. My only comment or recommendation would be to complete any pre-work, to have your demo or production environment in sync. I think that was one thing that helped us move quickly through that migration. And then, we utilize custom questions quite a bit in V2 and again in MeridianLink Portal. So just paying close attention to those and your product descriptions, and having V2 in good shape is one way to kind of expedite through that migration to MeridianLink Portal.
Thank you, Faith. ATCU, what about you? Any feedback from your staff regarding the, it's not a migration process in your case, but just really setting up and getting running on application or on a MeridianLink Portal?
Hey, Richard, I guess I can speak to this one. We did not have a lot of feedback as far as negative. It was all positive. But we had everything in place and working together, a good group, which makes it so much easier when you do that. So we didn't get a lot. Really, I would say we got a lot of feedback either way. Everybody just jumped in there and it was good. So everything was positive for us, nothing negative at all.
That's great to hear. Christian, what about you at the University Federal Credit Union? Any feedback from your staff in terms of recommendations or just thoughts regarding the migration process?
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty positive feedback that we got. Allowed us to streamline some of the processes that they were having to go through prior to with V2, just less data transfer that they were having to do. I guess the one issue we ran into is we didn't quite have our environments in sync, like Faith was talking about. So we did run into some issues when we were migrating with that. So I just say, yeah, do your legwork and get your beta and demo environments synced and looking the same. Really help expedite the processing and make that transition a lot smoother.
All right. Thank you for that. So that was our last question. I really want to thank you all for taking time out to share your experiences with us. And okay, next we have a poll question for the audience that we'd like to ask. So the question is, where are you in your decisioning process to migrate to MeridianLink Portal? Well, we have migrated and are live. We are in process of migrating. We are signing our addendum in the next month to migrate. We are signing our addendum in the next 3 months to migrate. And we are still trying to make our decision. So we'll give you a little bit of time to vote. All right. Okay, in addition to this fantastic roundtable interview, we also have a virtual roundtable article available for download with 5 former V1, V2 clients who now use MeridianLink Portal. Get even more insight and feedback by downloading this additional interview article from an emailed link that you'll receive following this webinar. All right, now let's take some questions from the audience. Let's see. All right. We'll start with the first one. Expand this so I can see it. All right. Did anyone implement the, sorry about that. All right. Did anyone implement the driver's license and scan to pre-fill? I'm sorry. Did anyone implement the driver's license scan to pre-fill or the Equifax Instant Touch? So I know someone mentioned the pre-fill functionality in one of the questions that we answered or talked about earlier, but can anyone speak a little bit to the driver's license scan pre-fill to pre-populate applications within application portal, within MeridianLink Portal? Anyone want to chime in and talk about their experience there?
Hey, Richard, this is.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. This is Faith Owen with FirstBank. We did implement the ID scan with our upgrade to MeridianLink Portal, and from our feedback, it has worked. It has worked very well. I can't say we necessarily. I mean, I have not got any specific positive or negative feedback from our customers from that, but I would say that does drive to our application completion success and being able to have validated information whenever we're getting those completed applications. So we have found the ID scan being a success.
Thank you, Faith. Did anyone else have something they wanted to add to that answer? Christian, I believe you're going to chime in.
Yeah, this is Christian. We've also implemented the ID scan. It's been, like Faith said, it's helped with application completion. We found that those who use it are more likely to finish the application, or actually usually better applicants. We've also found it crucial this last year with COVID at our tabling events that we were able to attend. It really just helped speed up the process that it took to fill out the application. We just had to scan the ID and answer a few more questions, and the application was done. So a process that took us maybe 10 minutes before COVID with our paper applications only took us like 3 to 5 minutes.
That's fantastic. And that's definitely a benchmark that we try and stay within in terms of how long it takes to submit an application. And you know, obviously the quicker we can get those applications in, at least the smaller the abandonment rate is, and something that we really try and focus on. So it's great to hear that it's really accomplishing that. So the next question is, did any of the FIs upgrade from an older version of Loans PQ to the portal? If so, how long of a project did that conversion process take? So in this case, I think we're talking about from classic to modern experience, which is an updated version of MeridianLink Consumer that we're offering. Can any of our panelists speak to that?
This is Christian again. I guess I can kind of speak to that. We're in the process of converting over to the modern experience still. But so far in our testing, it's been pretty much the same, or pretty smooth process. Not really seeing too much of a difference between the classic and the modern when it comes to application portal.
Great. Thank you for that. How is this different from V2? So we talked about, the actual implementation and migration process. From a training perspective, it was mentioned that there isn't a lot that you need to prepare for, but can anyone speak to some of the concrete differences between your experience with V2 and MeridianLink Portal?
Richard, this is Faith, and I'll jump in with that one. So from a customer's perspective, V2 versus MeridianLink Portal or application portal, first and foremost, it's mobile first, it's mobile dynamic. The customer user interface is built to literally either scan or obtain the information in a condensed fashion. It's not as many clicks for the consumer or the customer to complete. So from our perspective, it was just like a modern customer experience upgrade. It was that next progression. So from V1 to V2, we saw improvement, from an old browser base to a dynamic experience with V2. But then with application or MeridianLink Portal, it just takes it to the next step, in my opinion, from the customer experience. So not only is it a more modern, streamlined workflow or process for the customer to complete, but it allowed us additional customization that we were not able to accomplish in V2 and streamlines the process. So we actually approached it almost as an upgrade instead of a full-on migration, because from a training standpoint, from our branch associates or our digital bankers, there wasn't that much difference to train on. But from a customer standpoint, it was like that next progression in improving their.
All right. Thank you for that. Next question, do you use ML Portal for online applications and in-branch applications?
This is Alabama Teachers. This is Rachel. We use it for online applications only. For in-branch, they sit down with a lender, and the lender just takes the information directly into Loans PQ.
This is Christian. That's something we've actually been discussing about doing with our experience using application portal for our tabling event applications. We've started to look into setting up like a station at our branches. So if our financial representatives are busy or unable to help a member who wants to apply for an application, we could then direct them to like an iPad or something that's just there somewhere in the app in the branch, and then they could just fill out the applications themselves.
That's fantastic, and it's really one of the great things about MeridianLink Portal is just really the ability to accommodate different contexts, different scenarios in which we may want to present or offer a digital lending experience for customers and members, whether it's, online via the website, or it could be, in branch. You can show them on a tablet. It's just really flexible in how we could support different types of scenarios for financial institutions. So that's a great example of that.
Hey, Richard, this is Joey. Can I speak a moment about that?
Sure.
We have actually ordered iPads for our branches. We're in the process of going that direction, because what we found during COVID is during times we have had lobbies closed at times and minimal entrance also at times. So we're going to use that to allow them to fill out an application. We know it's much easier with the portal application than it is sitting down. So we've had situations where we had to point them to their cell phone, but now we want to be able to give them an iPad to do that. So we're going to be kind of experimenting with that. There is no doubt that the portal is much easier. The application online is much easier.
That's really great to hear, and that really kind of speaks to that omni-channel experience, as well as being flexible in how you can offer a loan origination to your customers in many different kind of contexts and scenarios. So that's really great to hear, Joey. Moving on to the next question. Do we get to know the results of the poll? Yes, you may know the results. So out of the votes that have been tabulated, about 40% of those that answered the poll are still trying to make their decision. 30% are signing this month or within the next 3 months. And the remaining 30% are in the process of migrating or have already migrated. So that's where the poll stands right now. I think, we're about 56% of you have voted, but that's kind of the breakdown at this point in time.
Richard, could I speak to that in just a minute?
Sure.
I'd like to give put a pitch in from MeridianLink for those of you who haven't decided yet. I think I can speak for everyone that's on the call from Alabama teachers. And from an administrative level, this has been an extremely good decision for us. Not only the system itself, but the support, the background administrative people that help you with MeridianLink. I would say that without a doubt, it's one of the best decisions we've made at our credit union to move into this direction. Of course, naturally, you can say that easily because of COVID, but MeridianLink does a great job. The portal does a wonderful job. It is, as I've heard mentioned here today, it is customizable. You can make a lot of the decisions yourself and do it the way you want to do it. So I would definitely put a pitch in for everyone and open myself up for any questions regarding that, because it's a great system. So I just want to share that.
And thank you so much for that, Joey. It's much appreciated. The next question, if we currently use f.k.a, but do not use it for internal apps, just online apps, can we drop f.k.a and switch to just the portal? I can actually answer that. So the portal uses one of our LOS systems, right, in order to actually process applications. So if you are using the portal, then it's assumed that you will be using either a consumer, MeridianLink Consumer, MeridianLink Mortgage, or a MeridianLink Opening software packages. So that's the intended kind of integration and how it works with respect to that. So if you're currently using MeridianLink Opening, but do not use it for internal apps, just online apps, I think the understanding is that Opening would be there working with MeridianLink Consumer in order to service MeridianLink Portal submitted applications as well. The next question, was there anything you were missing that was only available in V2 that was not functioning in Portal? I'm going to open that up to our panel for them to answer initially. I will just say that there are things that that we're working on adding in terms of the feature set for MeridianLink Portal all the time that maybe existed in some fashion for V1 or V2 that may work a little different for MeridianLink Portal, or there may be some features that are being added, as we kind of execute our roadmap and add that functionality. But from the panelists' perspective, it would be good to hear if you've run into any scenarios in which there's something that you could do with V2, but you're trying to do it with MeridianLink Portal and you ran into an obstacle.
Hey, Richard, this is Faith Owen with FirstBank. I'll chime in with that to start with. And I think Christian and I both said this as we were talking about our migration. Of course, we'd said a couple of times that it was important that our demo and our production environment were up to date and in sync. And we were building out our parameters, our configure site from V2, making sure that those parameters and those settings were as we expected them to be as we worked through the MeridianLink Portal migration. So I would say that I'm not going to say anything's necessarily missing from MeridianLink Portal. We haven't found anything that was just a complete gotcha that wasn't able to meet our needs. But I will say that it was very important that our configure site and our parameters that are set up under V2 were there and functioning as we expected it to, because Richard, don't let me say this wrong, but it's like MeridianLink Portal builds off of that, and you're going to sync your settings between that configure site to MeridianLink Portal to kind of keep everything in line. So I'm not saying that anything's necessarily missing from MeridianLink Portal, but I definitely see where MeridianLink Portal builds off of that configuration that was started in V2.
Thank you, Faith. And that's right. That's correct. That's exactly how the integration works between the two. We got time for maybe a couple more questions. So will the driver's license be requested for the potential member to upload? This really kind of speaks to the pre-fill functionality that we spoke about earlier before. This is an option that you can use for your applications in order for members or customers to scan their driver's license and then pre-fill applications as they're applying for different loans. Next, we are losing the email notifications as we move from V2 to the portal. Did you all create automated emails, or do you just rely on the notification the applicant gets once the app is submitted? I'll turn this to the panel and just to kind of get your feedback on that. In terms of the email notifications, this, again, falls into that category of things that we're always working to kind of augment as time goes on and we execute on the roadmap. But how did the panelists, how do you deal with notifications as the applicant submits their applications and just really to communicate with them about the process as they proceed with their application submittal?
This is Christian. We have set up automated actions with emails, but we've also utilized the text automation actions. So we've been able to put a custom question inside the MeridianLink Portal applications, so they can opt into text, and so we're utilizing both of those versions, but find that there's a lot of utilization for the text messages.
Sure, and thank you for that, Christian. All right, I think we're sort of about time for questions. Kevin, did you want to take over and talk about the prize drawing?
Sure, and just to let everybody know, we'll be forwarding the questions that didn't get answered on to your account managers, and we will try to get you answers as quickly as possible to any of your questions as we can, because we're sorry we were unable to, there were a whole lot of them that we weren't able to get to. I did want to announce that the winner of today's $100 Amazon e-gift card is Valina Cruz with USF Federal Credit Union. Our team will reach out to you directly with instructions on how to claim your gift card. So congratulations, Valina or Valena. And then just in case you don't know this already, but if you need more information about MeridianLink Portal or any other MeridianLink product, please reach out to your account manager, or in the instance that you can't remember who your account manager is, just send an email to events@meridianlink.com and we will get you in touch with the appropriate person or persons. And with that, I want to thank everybody for attending. And Richard, I'll turn this back over to you to thank our panel and for your last words.
Yes, most certainly. I'd like to really thank Christian, Faith, Joey, Colleen, and Rachel for your time and effort today. Also, I want to thank the audience. I know that you're making your decisions now, and if there's anything that we can do to help, please let us know. Your account managers will be able to answer questions about the transition process and get you started. So from MeridianLink to you, thank you all very much. Thank you again, panelists, for joining, and I want the rest of you to have the rest of your day, to have a great day, and thanks again for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.